morning. Here we are, Thursday, August 3rd, 2023. I'm Larissa. This is my video diary. Oh, oh, my hair's still damp. Oh. So, talk about the newses first. So, Justin Trudeau, Monsieur, and his wife are separating. Yeah, that must be very stressful. That must be very stressful, right? I mean, it's stressful enough when any relationship is having trouble like that, right? And you separate. It's really hard when you're the leader of a big country, huh? Yeah. That's tough. You know, I'm a firm believer in giving people privacy during separation because not all separations end in divorce, you know? No, they don't. They don't. Yeah. After Omar's dad died, we separated for 6 months. We got back together. We've been married 23 years. I don't know anything about Monsieur Trudeau's marriage. I don't know how long he's been married. I couldn't even tell you his wife's name. Doesn't matter. I wish you privacy as much as you can get, right? Yeah. Marriage is primary relationship. So, um, I'm also a firm believer in, when somebody says they've gotten divorced, well, if it was good, congratulations. And if it wasn't, I'm sorry for your loss. It's, you know, for any two people to make the decision to share intimate space, and I'm not talking about sex, right? Intimate space, right? Safety of sleeping next to somebody every night. Right? All the gross stuff, right? The stinking up the bathroom and all that stuff. You gotta share that stuff with somebody else, with another being. It's a very personal choice. And oh, I wish privacy, sir. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Anyway, so there's that in the news. What else in the news? Oh, flooding in China. It's interesting when I saw that, all the big flooding in Beijing. I mean, that's capital city, right? Yeah. When I was young, my grandma, I remember one of the big Haitian earthquakes or whatever, because there's been a number of natural disasters in Haiti. I remember um, being upset about it, seeing people being interviewed and things, and the abject poverty that was there to begin with, and then the devastation. I mean, the mass devastation that was left afterwards. And my grandma, she said, "Oh, Rissy," she said, "it can happen anywhere to anyone. You just got to pray." She says, "But this is what my grandma said to me. She goes, oh, she says, don't you think for a minute that God wouldn't punish somebody for dark witchcraft?" And I said, what do you mean? She said, "Oh," she's like, they're still sacrificing animals down there." And I was like, "Oh." And it surprised me. And she would have said the same thing about China. She would have said, "Oh, Rissy, God's punishing them for the COVID stuff." That's what she would say. I'm not saying that I ascribe to such to that. I don't know. But I do think that there is a balance energetically, right? That happens naturally. But Very sorry for anybody, for all those people whose homes are destroyed underwater. That's terrible. Human condition kind of thing. Wonder how things are going in Turkey after that giant quake from last year. Haven't heard anything about that. I'm sure that's not all fixed. I'm sure that's not. I sneeze. There's something blooming. I don't know what it is right now, but there's something. I've been sneezing like crazy the past couple days. I have been. Sneezy Louisey. Yeah. What else in the news? What else in the news? There's all kinds of shit in the news. The Donald Trump stuff. Mike Pence. I don't know. It's interesting to me because Mike Pence has made public comment now that Donald Trump specifically asked him to put Donald Trump's presidency above rule of the Constitution. And is that not treason? Not Mike Pence, but Donald Trump saying that, because that's not hearsay. Mike Pence is saying what Trump said to him. That's not hearsay. That's straight from the horse's mouth. And that's treason, isn't it? Yeah. Interesting. Well, treason is punishable by death. And speaking of the death penalty, that guy who shot up the synagogue in Pittsburgh got the death penalty. Yeah, I got feelings about that. Rotten hell, asshole. Rotten hell. And I don't know what you got to do to, get the government to look into hate crimes. I had Sunni twat spray painted outside my window in Oakland. Nobody gave a shit about that. That was a hate crime. Had skinheads in Detroit dump pee on me at a concert and chase me to my car. That was a hate crime. Yeah, it was. Had skinheads grab me at another concert. Yeah, that was a hate crime. Nobody cares about that. Right? There's a guy that said something to me in Saratoga, and I suspect it was based on my ethnicity. It's a hate crime. The car show, listened to a couple guys call the Italian family next to me Goombas all day. That's a hate crime. Woman with her brand new baby. Yeah. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. What else in the news? I don't even know. All the stuff in Africa, right? Now they're, Niger and... Hey, what's going on in Sudan? Don't hear anything else about Sudan now, do we? No? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Finished the 5th painting in my series yesterday. And, well, I signed it. And I'm pretty sure it's finished. Once you sign it, it's done, right? I don't know. There's a couple things I might touch with my paintbrush, but maybe. We'll see. I'm going to take a little break from painting for a while and take care of some other stuff on my to-do list. And so that's the 5th painting in the series, which means one more painting and I'm halfway done. So the next couple things that are on my to-do list to do, work. Get those out of the way. A couple things are necessities. Like I need to make the window dressings for the holiday season. I just want to get all that shit out of the way so I'm not at holiday season trying to get that done. I also want to get some smaller things made for holiday season. So I need to sit down and do that. And I just want to take a little break from painting. I need to wash my drop cloth anyway. So I cleaned up the painting corner, took up the drop cloth and everything, and I've cleaned that because it's catching all kinds of dust and dog hair and dead flies, bugs, stuff, from the window or whatever, and let that painting dry, and yeah, work on some other stuff for a little while. Yeah. Have some copies of my cookbook coming. This new printer I'm using. They are pretty easy to work with. Yeah, they are. Pretty easy to work with. The other volume two, once I get the paintings done, I do volume two of the Dreamscapes book. I'll do that with Vistaprint because I want the format to be the same. I want the end product to be the same. I want volume one and volume two to be able to sit side by side. And I have to say, I do their template, their interface, their template interface is a little easier to use on Vistaprint, but they're more expensive, and I've had a lot of problems with Vistaprint over the past couple of years. So we will see. 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 Yeah, I got my holiday cards designed for this year. Yeah, I do. Ones I'm gonna have for sale. They're funny. They're funny. I think people will like them. Probably won't buy them though. I don't know what that is. What that is? It's like people are weird. People are weird. Yeah. 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 So the second issue of the quarterly is going to look really nice. It is. It's going to be really, really, really nice. Hey.
Hey.
How are you today?
Right. Remember.
Yeah. Yeah, this fifth painting, the slight nuance between the cobalt blue and the ultramarine blue. It's so subtle. It's so subtle, but it sets the painting off, right? Part of me still wishes I had used the ultramarine for the water and the cobalt for the sky. Part of me does. But, like I said to Omar, I'm really the only one who knows that that is not, and if anybody who's watching this knows, that it's not accurate to the image from the dream. The image from the dream, the colors were reversed. Yeah. Let's see if I can get my hands on some Prussian blue. Let's see if I can get my hands on some Prussian blue. Yeah. The other day, I found this antique shop. It's an antique gallery, right? He's this guy's a serious collector. Um, he has these bronze swords that are like 3,000 years old. He let me touch one. I cried. I cried. I want it. I want that sword. Yeah. And the tag on it said $1,500. Yeah. 1000 BC. From northern Iran. It's beautiful. It's amazing. The weight is so satisfying. And bronze is so hard. Bronze is so hard. Yeah. And that bracelet I made. Maybe I'll wear that bracelet today. I think I will. I have a bracelet. The first piece of jewelry I made when I switched over to the metals department is a bronze and silver cuff. Yeah. I'll wear that today. Oh, I had this dream, not last night, the night before. Wild dream. I had this dream that the propane truck drove up on the logging trail behind the house. And I was in the kitchen looking out the window watching this happen. I was like, Omar, did you tell him they could drive up there? He's going to fall off. The logging trail is far too narrow for the propane truck to get up there at all. It was a weird dream. Yeah, but the propane truck was driving a ring around the house on the logging trail. Yeah. Anyway, I'm doing a herbal colon cleanse right now, and oh my god, you feel worse before you feel better. It's gonna be worth it. It's going to be worth it. I was thinking about maybe I'll try a colonic. I've never done a colonic before. I was thinking about it. Maybe. Maybe. Then nobody can accuse me of being full of shit. Anyway, I got a shit ton to do today.